Macca's Guides.
Hey guys, Macca here. This is the Fallout 4 Bobblehead Collectibles Locations Guide, getting you 2 achievements or trophies. They're not dolls, they're action figures. I'll be going alphabetically in order through the special ones, and then through the miscellaneous ones, showing you all 20. This video assumes that you're decently high level, probably at least level 25, as some of the areas are quite difficult, and it also assumes that you have basic knowledge of how the game functions. The strength bobblehead can be found in the mass fusion building. Once you find it, enter inside and you'll notice that there is a large kind of structure. You'll want to make your way up to the very top. I just scoped into where the bobblehead's located. You can find it on top of the kind of little statue thing that's poking up the side of the wall. Once you reach the top floor, you will probably need to take out an armored suit guard guy, gunner, so you'll want to do that as well, and then pick it up and you'll permanently have it.
Perfect.
Next up, we have the Perception Bobblehead, which is located in the Museum of Freedom. This is easily one of the easiest to find bobbleheads, and it is located kind of directly in a path that you're going to need to take very early on in the game. As part of the main story, you'll make your way to the Museum of Freedom, where you can meet Preston for the first time. You'll kill all the guards, make your way up top to find them inside the room. This is where the Minutemen kind of start at the beginning of the game, and you'll find the Perception Bobblehead on the desk on the left hand side by where Mama Murphy would be. Now, I've already picked it up. I'll show you it in my inventory. It will be exactly where I'm pointing. The next one is the Endurance Bobblehead, found in the Poseidon Energy Station in the southeast corner of the map. You'll see it here on screen. Now, there's 2 ways to get inside. You can get in through the front door if your lockpicking skills are good enough, or you can get in through the basement if you go into the water and hop into the vents, make your way up to the main floor. Once you're in the main area of the Poseidon Energy Station, you'll use the terminal to hack into the door. You'll see that there's this raider complex. There's a whole bunch of enemies. You're going to want to kill all of the raiders and then make your way into the kind of small raider compound that's inside of the building. Watch out for traps and explosives. Make your way upstairs, and right above the middle of the room, you'll see that there's kind of a room on the 2nd or 3rd floor above the main area. You'll need to make your way into there. There's going to be, I think, 2 legendary enemies or 1 legendary enemy, so I recommend that you have either really good weapons or explosives, or use your power armor, whichever one you desire. Once you're in this main room, at the very back next to the bulletin board, you can find the Endurance Bobblehead.
Excellent.
The next bobblehead is Charisma, and there's quite a few steps you'll need to take. First off, visit Parson State Insane Asylum and kill the enemies outside. Then you're going to need to find Edward Deegan in one of 4 locations. He can be found in Bunker Hill, Dugout Inn in Diamond City, the Colonial Tap House in Diamond City, or the 3rd Rail in Good Neighbor. Once you find him, you'll need to talk to him and accept a mission from him called Special Delivery, which you'll then want to complete. After that, you'll start the Emo Gene Takes a Lover mission from him, and you'll obviously want to complete it. And then you'll accept the Secret of Cabot House from him, which takes place helping Jack at the Parson State Insane Asylum, so you can finally get access into the asylum. Although all these prerequisite steps are kind of confusing and time-consuming, the actual act of getting the bobblehead is quite easy. You're going to meet Jack outside of the Insane Asylum and then go inside. You'll notice that the door in front of you is locked. He'll tell you that you want to go to his office in order to get the key. So just make your way through the building with him and kill all the enemies. They're like gunners and stuff. They're pretty low level, but you'll obviously want to be careful just in case. Eventually, you'll make your way into the basement, where you will find his computer and Edward Deegan. On the desk next to his computer, you can find the Charisma bobblehead, which you'll want to pick up. This was actually my last bobblehead, so I should have unlocked the achievement right here. So the next bobblehead is Intelligence. Its location makes a lot of sense. It's at the Boston Public Library. Make your way into the library through whichever door you want. I'm going to be referencing a certain door, aka the west door on the map right here. But if you enter through a different door, just situate yourself inside the library. Find this kind of main room that I'm in right now with the big chandelier, the domed kind of walkway with a whole bunch of turrets and enemies. Take out all of those enemies and make your way to the back room. You'll find there's a small balcony with some rundown computer kind of equipment in the back. Pick up the bobblehead located on them. You can use the local map to also find out exactly where I am. Next up is agility, found in the wreck of the FMS Northern Star down in the southeast corner of the map. You'll see the borders. If you need a reference point, there's this gigantic shipwreck. And you'll need to make your way up to the top and on the bow. I think it's a bow. I don't know much about ships or naval stuff in general. But if you just make your way into the kind of belly of the beast, make your way through the actual ship itself, there's going to be a whole bunch of Mirelurks. Is that what they're called? And you'll make your way through here, up the stairs, into what is basically a small raider outpost. They'll open the front gate for you once they hear you, as far as I understand. Make your way through there, kill all the enemies. I believe there's a legendary enemy at the very end. And then just poke out to the very tip of the boat and pick up the agility bobblehead.
Bingo.
Now, the last of the special bobbleheads is located on Spectacle Island. Two things you're going to want to know about getting here. It is very high in radiation and has very hard enemies on it, so you're probably going to want your power armor. You'll want to swim to Spectacle Island, then fast travel away, and then fast travel back in power armor, or make sure you have a lot of Rad-X, Radaway, and Stimpaks. Once you're on the island, head to the kind of south tip. You'll notice that there's a small green tugboat shipwreck. Walk over to it, make your way into the kind of middle base section of the boat, and in a locker in the back, you'll find the Luck bobblehead. Next up, we have Barter in Long Neck Lukowski's Cannery. This one makes the prices of bartering 5% better, which is pretty useful for a lot of players. However, you will need master lockpicking skills in order to open up a set of doors that leads to this bobblehead. I don't believe there's any way around these doors without the lockpick. Make your way inside. You'll meet some new people. There's no enemies in here. Just make your way to the top floor or one of the top floors, depending on which way you kind of look at the building. Go through the set of doors that are locked by the master lock, and at the very end, you'll find a computer with a Barter bobblehead on it.
Hell yeah.
The next one is called Big Guns. It's in Vault 95 in the Glowing Sea, and this, in my opinion, is the hardest one. It requires you to be the highest level, and you're also probably for sure going to want to be using power armor, as the enemies in this area are very difficult. Make your way into Vault 95, which is a little bit of a feat in itself because of all the robots outside. Once inside, clear out all the turrets and all the enemies, which are very high leveled. Make your way into the back onto the Overseer's Terminal, where you can unlock the wing. Then make your way back to the lobby section where we entered. Enter the wing, kill all the enemies, and then you'll go down some set of stairs into a kind of abandoned, broken down hallway. Once in that hallway, make your way to the right hand side through a set of rooms where you'll find 2 bunk beds with 2 enemies. Both enemies are legendary enemies. You want to kill both of them, and you'll find the Big Guns bobblehead in the room with them. Again, you're probably going to want to be a really high level and also be using your power armor. Make sure you come with a lot of Stimpaks and Radaway and Rad-X, as in the Glowing Sea there's a lot of radiation. So we can find the energy weapons bobblehead in Fort Hagen. I'm going to be showing it to you if you were to re-enter Fort Hagen after you leave using the elevator that takes you into Fort Hagen. There's more than one way to get into Fort Hagen, so keep that in mind. I'm using the elevator to get in after I already cleared it out. Once we get inside, you're going to make your way into the basement, go down the stairs, and you'll find a bit of a kind of kitchen slash cafeteria. In that cafeteria, there's a small back room with a set of like 2 refrigerators, I believe. And in between them, you will find the energy weapons bobblehead.
Bingo.
The explosive bobblehead can be found in Saugus Ironworks in the furnace room. This one's pretty useful, but it is very difficult. It has a lot of high-leveled enemies, and this one took me the most stim packs. I think I burned like 15 or 20 stim packs just to get it. Highly recommend that you use power armor if possible. Make your way into the furnace room. You'll get into here, and once you cleared all the enemies, just make your way up the stairs. At the very kind of top here in the middle, you'll find the bobblehead on a control unit. If you want, just run in, grab the bobblehead, and run out, and just ignore the enemies completely if possible. Next up, lockpicking is in Pikmin Gallery. To get into Pikmin Gallery, it's pretty close by to a lot of things in the downtown kind of core. However, you will need to kind of enter from a back alley through a red door. It's a little bit hard to spot, so just keep looking. It's in a back alley. Eventually, you'll make your way through the building, find a kind of secret passage, make your way deep, deep down into the underbelly of a cave system where you'll find Pikmin himself. Next to Pikmin, there's a garbage can with some flames, and you can find the lock-picking bobblehead. Medicine can be found in Vault 81. Once you find Vault 81 itself, you're going to want to go inside and get access to it. So you'll go inside, you'll talk to some people, they'll say that they'll let you in if you offer them 3 fusion cores. Give them the fusion cores and they'll let you tour the building. Once they let you tour the building, you're going to need to find Erin Combs, who's a small child. You'll talk to her and she'll tell you she lost her kitty. Make sure you complete her mission. Then you'll want to visit Austin in the office and then start the hole in the wall mission. Those are all mandatory steps in Vault 81 to get to the very end of the hole in the wall mission. Once you get to the end, you'll find this robot. I believe their name is Mrs. Curie, and she's obviously named after Madame Curie, but regardless, you'll enter, and in her office, you will find the bobblehead next to her computer. You'll also find the actual cure for the end of the mission as well. Next up is Melee. This is in Trinity Tower. Once you enter Trinity Tower, it'll give you a mission to investigate the radio broadcast. So you may or may not have that mission already completed, and you may have missed the bobblehead. Regardless, get into Trinity Tower, get all the way to the top of the tower using a series of elevators. For whatever reason, Rex Goodman's walking around on my screen. He shouldn't be walking around on your screen. He should be locked in the cage behind where you need the key. Pick up the key from the green chest once you're on the roof. You'll enter that key into the door where Rex Goodman and Strong will be. And inside this room to the right-hand side, you should find your Melee bobblehead. And I believe you can recruit Strong as a companion for later missions, if that's your thing. The repair bobblehead can be found at Corvega Assembly Plant. This allows all fusion cores to permanently last 10% longer. This one's pretty easy. You can go inside and through the actual assembly plant, make your way through a whole bunch of doors and end up on the roof. You can also just go around the outside of the building. So from the very entrance where you saw me, I was right in front of the building with the actual name of the building directly in front of me. You can go to the left-hand side, up this small ramp. I accidentally didn't kill these raiders, so they're shooting at me a bit, which is not a huge deal. Once you're up the way up this ramp, just make a little bit of a U-turn, hook around to the right-hand side. You'll find this staircase, make your way up the staircase. I'm going to fast forward a little bit so you guys don't have to watch me go really slowly. Make your way up this long staircase and then up some of these spiral staircases, and you'll make your way up to the giant globe. That kind of is the centerpiece or the focal point of the building. You can kind of see it, the most obvious kind of structure that's not just a regular part of the building. You'll make your way up to the giant sphere / globe object, and at the very end of the walkway you'll find the repair bobblehead. I already have it, but here's some proof. Science is located in Vault 75. To get into Vault 75, you will need to go and access it through the basement of the Melford Elementary School. You won't see the elementary school on my map. It disappears once you find the vault. So it's not far from the Medford Hospital. But once you find the vault in the basement of the elementary school, you'll get a whole bunch of missions. And once you find the kind of access card, you'll be able to get into the lab area. Once you're in the lab area, you'll want to investigate more. There's a whole bunch of enemies in here that you will need to kill. But really the only mission that you're given is to investigate. Eventually you'll reach this far room at the back and you'll kill a special enemy who has the key card, the admin key card. Next to him, or where he spawns, obviously if you kind of leave and he chases you, he'll spawn in a different area. You'll find a broken down machine next to the science bobblehead, and that's where you're gonna find the bobblehead, like I said, in Vault 75. Next up, Samll Guns in the Gunner's Plaza. This one requires you to be a decently high level as the enemies are quite tough, and it also requires you to have master lockpicking. Once inside of the Gunner's Plaza, take out all the enemies, make your way through the kind of front foyer. You'll find a set of white double doors in the back. You'll go through them to kind of enter further into the Gunner's Plaza. Then you'll find a set of red double doors with the on the air sign above them. Master lockpick your way through. You'll find 2 turrets and 2 legendary gunners in there with decently high-powered weapons. Take them out with a missile if that's your thing. Once inside, you'll find the bobblehead on the table in front of you, and you'll also find a pretty decent automatic laser pistol if that's your thing as well.
Perfect.
You can find the sneak bobblehead in Dunwich Borers in the northeast corner-ish of the map, not far from the Museum of Witchcraft. You'll find this gigantic quarry. Take out all the enemies. There's quite a few. Make your way down into the quarry and then down into Dunwich Borers, the actual area underneath this quarry. Once inside, you'll have to just keep going deeper and deeper and deeper into the quarry. You'll see computers that are numbered 1, 2, 3, and 4. Your goal is to get to computer number 4. At the beginning, you're going to be fighting regular raiders. Once you make your way past computer 3, you'll be fighting feral ghouls. And some of them are quite difficult. There's a few legendary ones. They're not terribly difficult, but if you're low level, you'll have some trouble, especially if you don't have power armor. I just passed by computer 3. I didn't show you guys it. Eventually, you'll go through a white door, and you'll have like a little bit of a dream, and you'll see this kind of white smoke appear in front of you. I've done a little bit of editing magic to take that off of the screen for you, and so you guys don't have to see me play with ghouls as well. Eventually, you'll enter into the area. I've also activated the light, so it might be a little brighter on my screen than it might be on your screen. You'll find computer number 4. There's a desk right next to it, and you'll find the sneak bobblehead, which you'll obviously want to pick up. Next up is Speech, which is in the Park Street Station / Vault 114. Once you get deep into the Park Street Station, it becomes Vault 114. If you're doing the Unlucky Valentine main mission of the story, you'll find Nick Valentine in his office, and he is standing right next to the Speech bobblehead. You'll want to pick it up while you're doing this mission, but if you have to revisit the mission, just go back into Park Street Station / Vault 114 in his office, where you fight a boss before entering. His name's Dino. Obviously, take him out, enter the office, pick up the bobblehead. The last bobblehead, 20 out of 20. If you're following along in this order, then you will unlock your achievement or trophy for getting all of them at Adam's Cat's Garage. Just go to this location, literally walk through. In the garage, you'll find a car, and on the hood, you can find the bobblehead. There will be no enemy resistance in this area. Thank you guys so much for watching. If this video was helpful to you, please, it would be really appreciated by me if you left a like, shared it with a friend, or put it on a website that you frequent. Thank you guys so much for watching, and hopefully, I see you next time. Peace.